unable to log on from my laptop. For some reason, my laptop is acting up. So, welcome everyone. Welcome to this clarity evening, night, morning, wherever you are, whichever part of the world you are in. Welcome to the clarity chat around strength. And this is actually a topic that has for very long excited me. There's something about this energy of strength that when you're willing to be it, you really are willing to create a reality. Create not just a reality, that just sounds sometimes so airy-fairy, but you're really willing to create a life based on choices that you alone can make. It takes a lot of strength to choose something, even when you're being made wrong by everybody around you. And most of us who choose to be the strength, who know we have that strength to choose, who know that we can change lives, including ourselves, including situations and stuff. Many of us, we choose to be the strength, yet in the moment of when we are just about to receive what you have created by choosing to be the strength, you go into the wrongness. You go into the wrongness because it's just so wrong to have that level of strength that you either resist and react to you being the strength, or you agree and align with you being that strength, both of which destroy you. So where you started out with, I know I can do this, and I know I can be this, and I know I can create my life the way I know is possible. Even if the world tells me constantly, no, it's not possible. Even if the world tells me, you've got to wait a little, you've got to wait, you've got to watch, you've got to wait till you can change something, and go slow, don't go too fast, because if you go too fast, you're going to hurt yourself in the bargain. And you're like, hey, I'm going to try and slow myself down. I'm going to try and be less than who I'm being. I'm going to try and fit into everybody else's points of views and realities and work the way the rest of the world does. And in the bargain, what you really do is you don't just kill your strength, but you use that strength against you. So everywhere that we've been using our strength that we be, of who we be, against us, instead of allowing it just to flow like a river, just to flow like a river, like a lake, like I'm just going to make everyone, just going to mute everybody, please, so that then the recording is clear. So when you're not willing to be that strength of where you are just to flow, you have to be the strength of solidity, of form, of structure, which is now control, which is now power over. So the strength that to begin with was you, the strength to begin with that is you, is now power over you, power over others, to prove to yourself that you have the strength or that you don't have the strength. So everywhere we just like a few minutes into the clarity night and clarity evening, and you're already going, what the fuck is this? Welcome to our clarity evening. And thank you for truly having the strength to hop on, because this is not a conversation that everybody wants to be in. Yes, money conversation, everybody will hop on. Relationships, yeah, I'm coming, just hold on. Strength, which how many of us really are willing to acknowledge that we are strength? Yes, Sunana, great question, my love. How do we undo that? Yeah, absolutely. I love it. I just love you, because you're like, okay, fine, I got it. Now just tell me now, what can I change here? Okay, let's just go to the possibilities now. I love that about you. And please feel free to unmute yourselves if you have any questions, okay? So the first, I wish I could have a formula of giving you that you could use to undo everywhere that you're using the strength against you. But unfortunately, there is no formula. What there is choice. What there is are questions. What there is acknowledgement that you are the strength. You know, this time when we were at the ESB in Mumbai, and we had this conversation. Actually, I asked the reason I'm doing this clarity on strength is because this is a conversation that I actually had with Dane during the class about strength, about control, about being out of control, and how confused and how not confused, but how glumped everything is for me in my was for me in my universe up until then. Because I was looking at having control over, and then I would ask myself, am I being interesting point of view? Okay, how can I be interesting point of view when actually trying to control my points of views instead of being allowance? And all of that is what takes you into this area of being totally glumped, totally confused, and you're wanting to be the tools, but in fact, you're just using the tools by deciding and concluding which one is the right tool to be used. So everywhere that you're using the tools by deciding and concluding that this is the right one and that is not the right one, that has you actually choosing righteousness over awareness, and misidentifying and misapplying righteousness over choice, will you please destroy and uncreate all of that? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, parkle, 9 shots, poison, beyonds. So I'd love to ask you all a question here. What is strength for you? What is strength for you?
To be true to myself.
Awesome. To be true to yourself. Okay. What else? What is being true to yourself? What does that really mean to you?
Following my
say, okay, cool. Following your awareness. All right. What else?
honoring myself.
Awesome. What else?
Loving, regardless of anything. Just loving.
Cool.
I like to love. So, I mean, why should I stop myself from loving? Why?
Yes.
It just comes
Yes.
why? Why should there be any point of view that stops me from being who I am? This is me.
Yeah.
Now digest me or eat a Digene, whatever you need. Bad luck.
I'm not changing. I love it. Eat a Digene if you can't digest me. I'm not changing.
Not changing this part of me. I mean, I don't intend to hurt anyone, and I do what I do just from love. Now, if the person is not willing to use his abilities or her abilities to simply see that, that's not in my control, but to be who I am is in my control. So it's okay.
Cool. So everywhere strength is about control, and everywhere strength is about never having to change. Can we please destroy and uncreate that?
Yes.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, park, all 9 shots, boys and beyonds. What if true strength is actually the willingness to not make anything real and true, to not have anything that is significant in your life, to not make anything so significant that now you can never really change it? What if that is true strength? To look at everything that you have created up until now, the crap, the magic, the beauty, the ugly, everything, and say, oh wow, wow, that's my strength. To not judge that, to not make it wrong, to not make it right. Because at least for me, I would say, I don't know if this really runs for any of you. I think this runs for me because I've had a lot of crap in my life, created a whole lot of crap in my life, and had a lot of fun with it. I admit it. I had a whole lot of fun with creating a lot of shit, a lot of crap in my life. Back then, I chose to be a victim to my choices instead of acknowledging and being the strength of my choices. So when you're willing to look at your choices, and when you're really willing to look at all of that as a capacity that you have, as a strength that you be. Now, what can you create from there? Because it's only when you're really willing to have, when you're really willing to be interesting point of view, the same old tool, interesting point of view, when you're really willing to have no point of view and no judgment about what you have been creating and what you've not been creating. Because anytime that we go into a judgment of our choices or what we've created, including when we have to apologize to others or to ourselves. I mean, how many times are we apologizing to others that I know I have the tools and I know I still did that, but you don't have to apologize. You don't have to apologize. Look at it and say, interesting, I chose that. Interesting, that's the strength, that's the capacity. I wonder what I could choose beyond that now. How much strength, like I said earlier on, how much strength are you really using against you instead of creating with you, creating for you? Because when we use that potency of who you be, and guys, whether you like it or not, you all, each one of you are really potent. I mean, there's just no way that you can change that. You cannot change your potency and dull it down. You cannot shut down your brilliance, even if you really try. But what you can do is make yourself miserable and wrong and terrible for the potency of who you be. That's a choice. That too is strength. That too is strength. It's not a wrongness, it's just a choice. Are you willing to look at that as strength? Or have you already judged everywhere that you created magic as my strength and everywhere I created crap as my weakness? That's again coming from a space of rightness and wrongness. So what if you can actually look at your entire life, and something so beautiful that Dane here spoke about in the ESP is when he said true strength is when you're really willing to be like a palm tree. A palm tree just sways. It doesn't bend, it doesn't break, it doesn't stand still, erect, strong. I'm not moving from here. No, it just sways. It doesn't stop anything, it doesn't stop itself. And it enjoys. It enjoys the wind, it enjoys the sunlight, it receives it all. That is true strength. So what if you could also receive everywhere people made you wrong, people made you terrible, people made you pointed fingers at you by saying, you're so weak, you love so much. What if that too is strength by saying, okay, interesting point of view. Could that then change for you, Sunana? Could that then have you claim on and acknowledge the strength of who you truly be?
Yeah, I'm normally told I'm an idiot because I love so much.
Yeah, I know.
I the point of view, but the thing is, after a while, it gets a little tiresome to be told the same thing again and again. I seem to be getting it from all quarters.
How much fun can you have with that?
I don't know. I kind of laugh about it and send all humorous jokes back to them. I don't buy it.
Yeah.
I just don't buy it.
That's such a beautiful thing you just said. I send humorous jokes back to them because laughter can really change the energy of anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I heard on the call yesterday about gratitude. So from last night to this morning, all I've been doing is thinking of the different reasons why I'm grateful to the people whom I don't want in my life.
Oh, I love you. Thank you for using that tool. Thank you. I love it. Oh, I feel so happy. It's like the tools are all out there for us to use. Yeah. How many of us really use it? I mean, I don't always use it. I use it pretty much against me pretty often too. And I really have my moments of where I feel I'm really hopeless and helpless and I can't change any damn thing in my life. I must be one of the worst people on this planet. And to think of it, I'm a CF, good for nothing. That's really wrong. That's really bad. That too is my strength, to laugh about it.
Yeah.
So are you willing to laugh at yourself and stop taking yourself so seriously?
I am. I had a moment of extreme tragedy this afternoon. And
you're smiling, Sunana?
I opened a beer bottle, out my pack of smokes and sat on the balcony and said, here goes. I don't care. I'm going to laugh about it. I don't care.
Absolutely. Yeah. That one. Hi. Hello. Thank you for being on. I can hear you.
Hi, what a
Okay.
pleasure. What a pleasure hearing your voice.
What a pleasure to have you on. How did I truly get so lucky?
Yes, and me too.
Awesome. Awesome. Wonderful. Wonderful.
Thank you
Yes.
for what you're doing. Thank
Thank
you for what
you.
you're doing.
Thank you, VG. I love you. And you know, I have so much of gratitude towards you for actually, he's one man for all of you. I'm sure all of you know R.D. Singh. And for all of you who do not know him, I would love to introduce you to him. This is this beautiful man who happens to be my brother in law. You know, he married the right woman, my sister.
Thank you. Thank you.
Kiran Singh. And they together truly are changing the world. And they together are being the strength. And I really, 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 I learned so much by just seeing them. And I learned so much by knowing that more is always constantly possible.
And we're so proud of you, Chandana, for what
Thank
you're
you.
doing, for what you're being, and
Thank you.
For the magic, Yavi, for the magic.
Thank you. Thank you.
being that potent
I
blah
did.
blah blah. You know what I mean.
You have
Thank you.
outcreated all our expectations.
Yes,
You mean you had expectations? Bad CF again.
Yeah. I had a lot of expectations from you. You not be as good as you are. But
You mean I let you down?
yeah, but going too good.
That
yeah.
one, huh?
Yeah.
I was right and right. Yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah, that expectations. That's such a
I know. I'll never
yeah.
forget. I'll never forget the change from you in you from the first being you class to now.
Yes, truly, truly, truly,
Wow, I can never
and
forget.
that yeah, truly, and thank you for that because that truly is when you're willing to look at yourself. So for so I was made to look at myself for who I am and what I am and what I was and what I wasn't willing to be by
Yes,
Dr. Dane here in the Being You class.
I
And
know.
when he asked me, yeah, and when he asked me to, so I went up to him with my stories, which is like many years ago now, seems like some other lifetime. But I went up to him with my stories of um, how I am hopeless and helpless because I had fibromyalgia back then. I had issues with my in-laws. I had issues with my friends who till up until then were I had the most fabulous, most I thought a wonderful relationship with all of them. And I had a lot of money issues which are suddenly coming up, like totally out of control. I was like, fuck, this life sucks. I don't want to be here. This is what living means. I can't live like this. Nothing seems to be working for me. I was
Yeah.
so hopeless and I was so helpless. And I went with that energy to the mic. And I thought that Dr. Dane will finally see me for the kind, gentle, sweet,
Person that you are.
innocent, innocent, beautiful woman that I am, who's being so ill-treated by the world. And I just wanted him to validate that in front of
Yeah.
everybody. And I went up to the mic and I said that. And in turn, he said, "Are you willing to be the rich witch bitch?" And I looked at him and I said, that wasn't something that I was expecting. Like, really? I don't want to know that. That's not what I came to the mic for. I wanted to hear that, yes, I'm so kind and I'm so good and I'm so sweet and I'm so lovely. And I wanted him to tell me that I'll change your life for me.
Yes.
Nothing of the sort. He stood there and he said, will you claim, own, and acknowledge that you're the rich, rich bitch? And I remember my entire world contracting. I
Yeah.
remember my entire body contracting, my universe falling apart. I wanted to be sucked into the earth, never to be seen again. And I thought that was the end of my life. And I was like,
Hey,
what was this?
but it was the end of your life,
Yes,
The
yes,
shitty
it
life.
really was. Yes, a shitty life. And the beauty of that moment, even today, thank you for bringing that up because when I actually look at that, that was my strength to look at it and to receive it. Because if I had gone into um, which I did for 3 months. I cried and I said, oh my God, he called me a bitch in front of so many people. And I did a lot of drama and I troubled UTVG, RD Singh and Kiran Didi. I mean, whoever doesn't know UTVG, whoever doesn't know RD Singh as UTVG, he's also UTVG. So I called them up and I would cry and I'd cry and I'd cry and I'd cry. It was only when I was willing to acknowledge my strength
Yes.
as all of me, which is you too, guys.
Yes.
Something beautiful that Simone said yesterday in the Joy of Business Facilitators. She said, when you are not willing to receive you being the slut, when you're not willing to receive you being the bitch, when you're not willing to receive you being a bulldozer, and when you react to all of that around you, is when you will have people being a bitch to you, being a bulldozer to you, and
Yes.
being sluttish to you.
Wow.
And what
Thank
if you
for
could
that.
claim, own, and acknowledge that you being you
With everything.
is everything? Yes, it's everything. With no, it's our judgments that being kind is good and being a slut is bad.
Yes.
And based on those judgments, we resist being all of us.
Yes.
Yes.
So truly,
Thank you
your
for being
strength.
you, my dear. That's why I was
Thank
thank you for
you.
being you. The
Thank
beautiful
you.
you.
Thank you. Yes, yes.
Love you, my
And how many
Thank
lives
you.
you've changed,
Yep.
Oh. We
including
have this beautiful lady here, Rashi, who's Rashi. Look at her. Oh my God, this beautiful woman. True
Yes.
strength, true strength, true strength,
Yeah. I wish
strength
she
of
also
choice.
acknowledged, that it was her choice to change. Your
Totally.
magical fingers, my dear.
Her choice.
The
Totally.
access
Totally.
consciousness.
And she, when she texted me, she's saying, my God, I knew you could do it. I said, no, it was your choice.
Yes.
It was your choice.
Yes,
Yes,
true.
truly, truly, truly. Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yes. So strength, let's talk more about strength here. What does strength really mean to you? Like, I loved what Sunena shared, but I'd love you all to just unmute yourselves and talk about what is strength for you.
Strength is Chandana Bhava.
Oh, that's such a huge limitation.
And more. Chandana Bhava and more. Yes.
Cool. Okay. I'll receive that. Thank you.
Good.
Oh, Kanika says being vulnerable. Yes, that's another lady out there.
Yes.
True
Yes.
strength. True strength. 2 years, 3 years, and can I share, Kanika? I know she won't mind, but I'll just take it for granted you don't mind, and I will still share. If
Yes,
you share,
you may.
Thank you, sweetheart. Yeah. From the space of actually having barriers up and thinking that was a strength because she could finally feel protected and safe, to always being aware, because this woman is so fucking aware that she doesn't know what to do with her awareness half the time, and she's voicing everybody's points of views from her mouth, and then asking, what was that? I was like, well, you're just aware, and okay, cool, acknowledge that. But truly, from having barriers up, which went beyond her head, beyond her every space possible, into now this space of true strength of having her barriers down. That is strength. When you're willing to be seen, judged, made wrong constantly for what you say, who you be, what you be, how you should be different, what you should not say, so now you can be right. All of that is people wanting to control you. All of that is people seeing the greatness and the strength and the potency in you and wanting you to be less so you don't outcreate them. But are you truly willing to be the strength of who you be without the fear of outcreation, without the fear of being made wrong, without the fear of and the need to step into the space of lack? What if there is so much space for each one of us on this planet, guys, that we can truly, truly, truly be the strength of who we be? Because everyone being their strength, their potency, is the contribution that the planet is asking for. So what can you being you, what strength is that in you that you see as a wrongness? What if that is not your wrongness? What if that is truly your strongness?
Can I just add something here?
Please do. Please do.
The beauty is that every one of us, each one of us has a strength which is different from others. And that's what makes us unique. And that is the individual you, who you are. And that greatness in you is not there in anyone else. And once you acknowledge that greatness, then you can be you rather than try to copy others and be like others, you know. That I
Yes.
think is
So true.
yeah.
Thank
Chandana
you
has
for
something to
that.
say.
Yes, yes, Tanika, please.
I mean, I love this topic, strength. It is a very vast topic. And the beauty of
Yeah.
looking at strength from access point of view is your flaws, your weaknesses is also a strength if you acknowledge that and then change somehow. So that becomes a strength for you, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and that's like you not getting, you know, you're not getting carried away with your weaknesses and then coming out with a new you. So that becomes a strength for you. So this topic can actually go to various lengths of what strength is, what strength is not, and how you can, how you can be that vulnerable strength that you truly are and be you,
Yes. Yes.
you know.
So
So
true.
this
Yeah.
topic is like really huge.
Yeah, it is. It is, right, Kanika. And this time you were there at the ESP with Dane. So you know when we had that conversation around strength with him about how much we try to be in control of our life so nothing ever goes wrong. And now people will see me as I'm strong because I've not made any mistakes. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm always doing it right. I'm always getting it right. Don't you see how strong I am? In other words, don't you see how right I am?
We spoke a lot about validation,
Yes,
looking for
yes,
validation, seeking validation.
yeah.
Yeah.
So actually, how many of us have misidentified and misapplied rightness for strength and strength for rightness? And everything that is, can we destroy and uncreate that? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, popcorn, nine shots, boys and beyonds. What if your strength is so unique, like Kanika just said, it's just so unique, and RD sir just said it's the difference of who you be. What if that strength, you can actually look at it and ask, what contribution is this? When we go into a judgment of the difference of who we be, that's when the need to change from the wrongness to the rightness arises. That's not really creating greater, guys. That's just you judging yourself and now deciding what has to change so people around you can receive you. So now you are right and you are not wrong. Because how many of us have decided that if somebody cannot receive me, I must be wrong. So I've got to change so now people can receive me. Everywhere you've done that and everywhere you've cut yourself off for that. So what will it take for people to receive me? So I will change and I will no longer be me. And I will change so people around me can receive me. Can we destroy and uncreate all of that, please?
Yes,
Right and
please.
wrong, right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shots, boys and beyonds. What if that energy, if you actually see that energy, or if you just get present with that energy of where we have judged ourselves so much and we are looking to change our lives, but are you really looking to creating greater, or are you looking to just change the right to the wrong or the wrong to the right, which still keeps you stuck in polarity? It's like you're literally swimming between left side to right side to left side. Now so-and-so will like me, or now when so-and-so judged me, I have to change and go back to this. So are you really being the strength of you? Or are you using that strength against you that has other people controlling you? So everywhere that you're using your strength against you, by being the impotency of you instead of being the potent being of who you truly be, will you please destroy and uncreate all of that?
Yes.
Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, on nine shots, boys and beyonds.
Can I ask
A
a
question?
question?
Yes, please, Sunana.
So there are times when it's like everything seems to be going towards the creation of something greater, using my strength, and then boom, there's something which happens which stops it all, and it like seizes everything, and time goes into a vacuum. Other than doing this clearing, what is it that I'm doing which is creating that? I don't
You know what,
understand.
you know, darling, it's one thing that really changed a lot for me, and I came a lot from the space that you are coming in right now, that everything seems to be going right and then something happens. What if you just acknowledging that nothing really happens to you is all that's required in this moment? What if the only thing that you can truly do is look at it and say, wow, if I was choosing ease with everything that was showing up the way I'd like it to, and now what did I choose that had me create this? Because whenever we go into a space of this happened, it's really you giving up the potency, the power, and the strength of who you be. And you're really now stepping into a space of being controlled. So now when things
Yeah,
are
I
happening to
that
you,
very much. I don't know how it's from happening.
yeah, that happening. What if that happening is the biggest lie that you use against you? So you don't have to be the strength of who you truly be. What if that's the lie that you use? Just you, nobody else. Nobody else says happens to me. Just Sunana does. Everything that is, can we destroy and uncreate that?
Yeah.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, park, online shots, poison, beyonds. I did it a lot. I did it a lot. I mean, if I start to tell you the crap that I was choosing and constantly choosing, and even after access, and even after becoming a CF, and even now when I choose crap, but when I choose crap, I come out of it faster. The difference is that I'm not perfect. I don't choose to be perfect. I don't look at being perfect, but I do use the tools to make every moment of my choices, my life, ease. Ease. Because when anything's not ease, whenever you have a problem, you're choosing from a space of unconsciousness. You're choosing from a space of being less than who you truly be. So everything that brought up for all of us on the call, that can we destroy and uncreate that?
Yes.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pork, online shots, boys and beyonds. So how many lies have we told ourselves, and how many lies have we been told that things happen to us? That has us in the wait mode for things to happen to us. That doesn't allow us to take action, that has us constantly in reaction. Everything that is times a godzillion. Will you all please destroy and uncreate it all?
Yes.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pork, online shots, boys and beyonds. Cool. Yeah. What would happen if you truly chose to be the strength of who you be? How many people would hate you for it? How many people would you lose? How many people would judge you for it? Are you willing to receive all of that? And we had Ritu smiling at that one. You go, girl. I love it.
Yes, Chandana. And you get it when you get it.
Yep, you get it when you get
When
it.
you get it. Yes.
True that, true that.
True that.
Yes.
True that, sweetheart. Thank you.
And there is no wrongness and rightness
There's
about that.
no wrongness.
Yeah.
There is only balle balle in every space. What if we can be that energy?
Truly, yes.
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 Yeah. Thank
So
you.
you're welcome. And thank you, for being this phenomenous you who truly lives, never give up, never give in, never quit. Yeah, I love it. Awesome. So what if we can all actually look at that palm tree that stands alone on the beach, alone somewhere, and just sways. And what is that energy that a palm tree is, that you have not acknowledged that you be? What is that energy that's available to you on the planet? Can you all put your barriers down and truly receive from that? And acknowledge that you be that. And everything that doesn't allow you to acknowledge that, to be that and to have that, can you please destroy and uncreate that?
Yes.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all 9 shots, boys and beyonds. Being the strength involves a lot of trust. If you're not willing to have the trust in you, and if you're not willing to have the trust in the universe, you can never be the strength of who you truly be. So are you now willing to trust yourselves?
Yes.
Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all 9 shots, boys and beyonds.
Yes.
Awesome. So now what does strength mean to you?
Malleable.
All right. Did you say valuable or malleable?
Malleable.
Malleable. Cool. Awesome. Yeah. Yeah.
For me, it's trusting myself.
Awesome. Yes. Trusting. That trust is such a big one, guys. We trust wrong will happen. We trust the bad will happen. We trust that. I must have been wrong in my past lifetimes. Something bad will happen in this lifetime. So finally things can be okay in my next lifetime. We trust that. Everything bad is going to destroy and uncreate that. Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all 9 shots, boys and beyonds. What if the only trust that you could have is trusting in the strength of who you be? Trusting that your very touch, your very presence, your very being can change this reality. It can change the planet. And you don't have to do anything for it. You just have to be. Something that Gary said day before, and I even put it on Facebook because it just showed me something that how much of ease is there when we are choosing consciousness. He said that the earth would heal itself in an instant if you stepped out of its way. And well, for me, that's huge. That's really huge. I mean, if you look at the earth, we are a part of the earth and the earth is a part of us. There is no separation. It's just that we look at the form and the structure of us as a body and the earth as a separate entity, which is what has us separating from the earth and from ourselves. But what if you could actually step out of the way? And step out of the way doesn't mean to separate it, to separate from the earth. To step out of its way is to actually be an allowance of what it's choosing right now. Stop trying to understand it. Stop trying to figure it out. Stop trying to find the right way and judge the wrong way and entertain yourselves with all of that. Just to be an allowance of it. And to know and to trust that this is what's required in this 10 seconds. It doesn't have to be something that has to be permanent. It's not something that has to be solid and real for the rest of our lives. But what if this is what's required in these 10 seconds? Would you be willing to be so useless in this moment? Or where everyone's dying to be useful? Let's change the planet. Let's change people's lives. Let's go out and do something. Let's be useful. Are you willing to be useless? What if that's your strength right now? What if that is all that the planet is asking for you to be? And everything that doesn't allow you to recognize that strength of who you be as the greatest strength that could actually create, generate, and institute a reality beyond this reality. Will you all please destroy and uncreate that? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, all night shots, boys and beyonds. When you see true strength, there's a sense of space. There's a sense of silence. And when I say that, I don't mean you have to keep quiet and just stand and say, I'm the strength. No, it's not that. It's almost like you allowing the energy of space to be greater than the energy of doing, of action, of taking action based on reaction. I mean, how many of us look at strength and then we get scared and we get fearful of it, and then we decide and conclude that we have to do something to undo it? We know we are strength. When you are strength, you can see the strength in others around you. But are you an allowance of that? Do you look at it as an interesting point of view, or do you look at it as something that now you have to do something about it? You cannot
do something about it.
Yeah, right. It's like you cannot see in others what you are not. So if you are seeing the strength in others, how much strength do you see in you? Little, less, or nothing at all? What if you could just acknowledge that you be the strength too? And you don't have to do, it's almost like there's such a reaction to everything around us right now. And so many of our choices we are making based on the reaction of what our choices should be like, instead of looking at it and asking, what choice can I make now? What action can I take now? And that's something beautiful about taking action is there's never a force to it. There's never a level of force to change, or a level of force to be heard, or a level of force to make it right. When you're truly taking action, you're allowing your being to know and to be the space, and you're just being the space is you being the anomaly of possibilities. So it's like when you're being that space, guys, you're inviting people around you to be that space. When you're being that space, you're actually changing problems into possibilities without the need to make it significant, without the need to look back and say, look, did you see that? Without the need to stop and try to understand why and how. You're just being an anomaly of possibilities. And it's literally like the space that you occupy is a space that is so inviting, which is the strength of who you be. And for each one of us, it's different. For each one of us, it's different. Are you now willing to recognize that strength in you? And everything that doesn't allow that, will you destroy and uncreate that?
Yes.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, online shots, boys and beyonds. So now, what does strength mean to you?
Enjoying your space.
Awesome. Beautiful. What else? What does strength mean to you?
No expectations.
Beautiful. What else? What else? Anybody who wants to share what strength means to them?
Me.
Yes, please. Go ahead.
So strength means me.
Oh, lovely. Awesome. What else? Yeah. What else is strength? I mean, so many of us think we are really, now I have the strength because I'm conscious. Don't you see how conscious I am? Don't you see how many choices I'm making? Don't you see what kind of choices I'm making? Don't you see how much strength I have? Because I'm conscious. I'm doing access consciousness. That is you simply judging yourself to finally be right. That's not you being the strength of who you be. Access consciousness, theta healing, Reiki, or whatever modality, religion, or whatever you choose to go, to follow, whatever you choose, not even to follow. That's not what I want to talk about, not following, but whatever you choose to include in your life is an inclusion. It's not something that becomes greater than you or that you define yourself as. So if you're using the tools of access consciousness, you're using the tools to create a greater reality, to create a greater life. But the moment you make access consciousness the right way, guess what? You just give up your strength. So everywhere that you've decided and concluded that you have it right, you finally have it right. Can you please just try and uncreate that? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all 9 shots, boys and beyonds. I'm just going to read these questions. Okay. So Ruchika says, what would be the opposite of validation? The opposite of validation? Well, validation is an energy that you are always being controlled by others. And there's a lot of need to be made right. Validation comes from a space of needing to be seen, needing to be approved of, needing to be made right and important. Validation is something that will always, always, always destroy you. You have to destroy your strength to be validated. Your strength can never be defined because that is your strength. It's unique and different. What can be defined is you getting validated for your strength. When you are looking for validation of your strength, of who you be, you're really looking for a definition. So now you can have people defining you for the strength of who you be. So everything that is, will you all destroy and uncreate that? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all 9 shots, boys and beyonds. Rashmi says, having ease with myself. So true, darlings. Having ease with you, having ease with your choices. And every time that you look at anywhere where it's not ease, ask what moment of unconsciousness, what choice did I make in this moment of unconsciousness? Because anything that's not ease is not consciousness, friends. You've chosen to have a problem in a moment of unconsciousness. So everything that is, can we destroy and uncreate all of that? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, on 9 shots, boys and beyonds. Absolutely, Seema. Strength is choice. Yes. True strength comes from the knowing that you always have choice. And that truly is one of my favorite, most potent tools in access. Choice. Just choice. Poonam says, choosing happiness all the while. Awesome. Yes. What if you being you is you being the joy of who you truly be? Every time that, are we looking to be the joy by being who we be? Or are we really looking for something outside of us that can motivate us to be happy? I mean, are we looking for a new car? Are we looking for new clothes? Are we looking for a nice movie? Are we looking for a nice meal? Or are you willing to be the joy? And true joy. In every moment of your life, knowing that when that is your natural state. Joy, unlike what this reality thinks and people around us look like, Most of the people around us look sad, grumpy, miserable, unhappy, stressed out. And we start to believe that is a natural and normal way of living. No, unnatural and normal, if I can say it, which is pretty much abnormal and weird, is joy. But how much have we used that strength of joy against us to make us unhappy so we can understand joy? You have to choose unhappy to be able to understand joy. So everything that is, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all 9 shots, boys and beyonds. What if you didn't have to choose that, guys? What if you being you, what if you being the joy of who you be, is the strength where you don't have to define it, where you don't have to undo it to understand it. You just be it. And are you going to be judged for being joy? Maybe. Maybe not. And everything that doesn't allow you to be that joy. Look at Poonam's face. I love it the way she's laughing. I love it. I'm like, yeah, I want to give you a hug. What if that is a joy of who you
We
be?
have been made wrong so many while for that. Like, why don't you get sad about things? Why don't you choose this? Like, everywhere, everybody is feeling gloomy and तू फे फे करके हंस रही है. Like,
तू हंसी जा रही है, सब मर रहे हैं यहाँ पे, पता नहीं कल हम जिएंगे कि नहीं जिएंगे, तू हंसी जा रही है. Yeah, I know, I'm just a little crazy.
I'm totally no mind at all.
And what if you being you could be an invitation for the rest of the world to know that there's a different possibility? What if it's not about you being right or you being wrong? What if it's just about you being that invitation to others? Whether they get it or not is their choice. Whether they receive it and choose it or not is their choice. And we have some more. I'm just going to read these chats here. Kanika says, knowing that things and situations will change to greater if we trust our choice. Absolutely, darling. And you know what? It doesn't always show up the way you think it will. And it doesn't show up in a time frame because time is just a construct. But just to know that you're making a choice for the greater, it's light and something beautiful that Gary's really been speaking about since his CF and again in the Joy of Business Facilitators. Also, he said, what if your choice can come from, put aside light and heavy, put aside all the other questions that we've been asking for. Ask simple. If I choose this, just look at something and say, do I choose that? Yes or no? Yes or no? Go with the yes and no. Just go with a yes and no. And if it's a yes, choose it. If it's a no, do not choose it. And yes, there is no right or wrong choice. Absolutely. You choosing from this kingdom of we is a strength, the kingdom of choice. Absolutely. That kingdom of choice and the kingdom of we is the kingdom of possibilities. The kingdom of choice and the kingdom of we is the kingdom of possibilities, which is meant to be, which was meant to be, which you chose as your reality. So are you willing to be that strength? Are you willing to be that? Are you willing to be that energy or what others don't get? And they try to define you by making it wrong or by making it right. Are you willing to be that energy without the need for others to define it? Because something that you can never define is the strength of who you be. That can never be defined. What can be defined are the limitations that you're choosing. And I really want you all to get this. Because when you have the strength of who you be, you cannot be defined. Many people will not be able to get you. They will make you wrong for it. Including those who love you, including those who care for you, everywhere around you. It's not important. But every time there's a need to be received is where there's a need to be defined. And that's when you choose a limitation. So now you can be defined. So you think people will get you. No, people don't get you. They just control you at that time. And you give up the space of being the strength of who you truly be. So everywhere and every lifetime, including this lifetime, that we were too much for the world, for the planet, and we had to make ourselves less so people could get us. So we hurt our body, we hurt our reality, we hurt our financial flows, we hurt our relationships, so others could define us and we could fit into this reality. Can we please destroy and uncreate that? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all 9 shots, poison, beyonds. Are you willing to be so different, so crazy, so weird? That nobody ever can truly define you.
Yes.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all 9 shots, poison, beyonds. And being weird and being crazy and being you, which doesn't really mean that you have to walk on the streets laughing and jumping on one foot or naked on the roads. Nah, that's again this reality's way of defining weird and crazy. That's again you choosing a limitation. What is the crazy you? Who is the crazy you? And what if that crazy you changes every 10 seconds? How undefined would you have to allow yourself to be with you to claim, own, and acknowledge the strength of who you truly be? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all 9 shots, boys and beyonds. I really enjoyed this call. I just realized I love talking.
It's been awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. Do we have any questions, or I have any questions, friends? No? Cool. So we will send the replay out, and you're welcome, Harpreet. Thank you for being on. Thank you. Yeah, Kanika says, chuck the bio data that defines us. I love it. Throw it out of the window, woman. Burn it up. Burn it up. What if there is no bio data, right? You're welcome, Parita. Thank you, darling. Thank you all. Love you and see you all soon. Bye. And yes, we are starting a money workbook in 2 minutes. So we're going to go on to that one. And
Wow.
we will see all the people who are hopping onto that one from here. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, sweethearts. Oops.